Hey, 2018, brand new year. Here's what's up. God's got some stuff for you. More than that, even more. God's got plenty of goodness for you, and it never expires. It never runs out. God is preparing a place for you at His table. He has a feast of awesomeness just for you. He wants to show up in your life every day. He wants to blow your mind with the best things. God is the God of never-ending abundance. God is the God of so much more. God is the God of plenty.
So when I think about kind of my experience and my story, you may not notice me, but I was very rebellious as a teenager. Yeah,
Really?
very.
Do tell.
It goes back to like even coming out the womb. Like I was the one. I'm a middle child, so always grappling for attention. So like jumping out the crib, things like that, talking to myself.
Has that sucked?
You still talk to yourself?
Just every now and then. I mean, but yeah. So really, what I've seen is that through that rebellion, that God has been a consistent part and has been leading me and guiding me throughout every phase of my life. Another thing about me, my dad is a preacher, so I'm a preacher's kid. PK, yeah. I know. It's So for me, my identity was told to me. Like, it was a thing where, my dad was well established in the community that I grew up in. And so there was always an expectation that people had for me. And for me, trying to kind of come to and find out who I am and know myself, I rebelled against that. So as far as like expectations of, what a preacher's kid acted like in class, I rebelled against that. Like, so I remember getting suspended for setting off a stink bomb in the middle of class. Yeah, I told you I was rebellious. And then multiple detentions. But even through that experience in rebelling against kind of who my father was, while also striving for the attention of my parents, I always experienced. And looking back and knowing that God was with me, I think back to like my relationships with even some of the friends that I had growing up. They weren't the most well-polished group of people to be hanging around with. I remember one time we went to Walmart. My friend Chris, he had the bright idea. He's like, you know what, guys? How about we go to Walmart? We can get some like the little popcorn chicken, because popcorn chicken. Delicious. So he had the bright idea. He's like, we're gonna go to Walmart. We're just gonna hang out, and if we eat the food there, it's free. Yeah. So that's the kind of people that I hung out with. Just to let you know. And then I remember sitting there having a conversation with him on the way over there. I was like, hey guys, I don't think this is such a good idea. And this isn't something that we should do. I don't know why. That it wasn't the type of person who I was, but I still continued to hang out with this group of people. But even within my group of friends that were kind of doing things, smoking, or engaging in things they shouldn't be doing, like stealing popcorn chicken from Walmart, I think God placed me in those positions to be an example and show me what path I should be going down. So for me, telling my friend Chris, like, hey, I don't think this is such a good idea, I specifically remember him, another friend of mine, Preston, they looked at me and said, you know what, Josh, you're right. You're always looking out for us. And for me, that set with me up until college. And when I was in a state of, like, I don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. that moment popped out. I don't know what reason being for that came to me, but that moment popped out. And so that's where I felt like God was showing me, hey, you need to, what does it look like for you to look out for people, look out for other students who don't necessarily have the best background, don't necessarily have, the best, resources and community. And what would it look like to explore a career like that? And so that's when I started to look at social work and got my degree in social work and started, after I graduated, decided to go down a path of wanting to be a school social worker. So I figured, hey, the best way to be the best experience that I can give being a school social worker is being a teacher. And so I did this program called Teach for America, where I spent 2 years teaching in what was then the worst school in the nation, the worst high school in the nation. Previously, up to that point, someone had actually gotten murdered in the school. Like, it was that tough of a environment. And I remember sitting there, like, once again, like, I'm finding myself being drawn towards these dangerous and, not necessarily like the best situation that you want to say, yeah, I'm going into teaching. I'm going to be teaching in the worst school in the nation. But God continuously when I look back over my life, God has continuously put me in these positions for a reason. So my story and just kind of understanding how God has kind of played himself out in my life has been God showing me and kind of leading me in directions even when I didn't even know. Like, this wasn't something that I asked for. I didn't ask for to have a difficult relationship with my father, being that I didn't want to be identified as a preacher's kid. I didn't ask to be for some reason attracted to and wanted to have friends that didn't necessarily make the best decisions in life. But God put me in those positions. God even attracted those people to me. And so, so it's continuing to kind of, for me, unravel itself as I think back over my life and my different experiences, and just really being able to sit in God's abundance and recognizing that, even when I wasn't asking and seeking God, he has been setting me up from day one, no matter, even when I was rebelling against him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good, man.